Okay, so imagine this. You read a news report, seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
A 12-year-old girl reported missing.
Right.
Her dad says she just left home overnight. Maybe sounds like a runaway.
That's often the initial thought in those situations, yeah.
But as we see so often in these deep dives, that first simple report, it can hide something much, much darker, more complex.
Definitely.
Today, we're getting into a case just like that. The really perplexing disappearance of 12-year-old Lori Paige. And it took years, this painstaking search for answers that finally led back to her own father. It's quite a story.
It really is. And for this deep dive, we've relied on, well, a whole stack of official sources, police reports, court documents, press statements, too.
The official record, basically.
Exactly. And together they paint this full, frankly, chilling picture. So our mission today is to sort of unpack all those details for you. From, those first little things that didn't quite add up, those inconsistencies, all the way to the really shocking discoveries that eventually, brought some clarity.
Yeah.
We want you to really grasp how this whole complex thing unfolded.
Okay, let's start at the beginning then. June 3rd, 2023. Lori Paige, she's 12, middle schooler in Tallahassee, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
She's reported missing. And it's her father, Andrew Wiley, who makes the call. Says she left overnight, took her backpack while he was supposedly at work.
And what happened right after that was this huge search effort. It wasn't just local. It spread across state lines, went on all through summer 2023, even into early 2024.
A long time.
A very long time. And despite, lots of leads, tons of effort from law enforcement, nothing. Lori was still missing.
So frustrating for everyone involved, I imagine.
Immensely. But here's the critical part. As time went on, investigators, they started noticing inconsistencies. Little things in Andrew Wiley's story.
Oh.
Maybe minor things at first, but they were enough to plant those first seeds of suspicion. They started to ask, does this really add up?
How significant were those inconsistencies then? Were they like immediate red flags flashing, or more like something that only made sense looking back later?
That's a good question. Initially, I'd say subtle. More like a growing unease for the investigators rather than, solid proof.
Got it.
But as the weeks dragged into months and still no sign of Lori, those little discrepancies, they started to stack up. They couldn't be ignored.
Right.
And that forced investigators to look much, much closer at Wiley himself.
Okay.
And that closer look, that scrutiny, led to a really critical moment. February 2nd, 2024. Detectives make a big move.
Which was?
They seized Andrew Wiley's phone.
The phone. And what came off that? Because that feels like where the momentum really shifts, right?
Absolutely. It's fascinating, actually. This case is such a stark example of how, modern investigations work.
How so?
Well, every click, every search you make,
Mm-hmm.
it leaves a kind of digital breadcrumb. And when forensic analysts get hold of that, it can completely unravel a hidden story. Our phones, they become these, well, potentially incriminating archives.
Okay, so what did they find on Wiley's phone specifically?
It was deeply troubling. The search history showed queries about remote areas, specifically in Alabama and Georgia,
Wow.
different bodies of water.
Okay.
Okay.
Generic, maybe? Or
Not entirely. Then it got very specific. Searches like Apalachicola National Forest dead body.
wow. Okay, that's specific.
Exactly.
Wow.
And even things like, where do police look to find missing kids?
Oh, man.
So you see, these searches, they weren't just idle curiosity. They were a massive red flag. It shifted the whole focus of the investigation squarely onto Wiley.
That's chilling. Yeah, those aren't just random thoughts. That sounds like planning, or at least thinking about specific scenarios.
Precisely.
And once that spotlight was on him, the court documents, they revealed an even worse picture, didn't they?
Yeah.
About the alleged crime itself.
They did. According to those documents, the allegation is that Wiley killed Lori on June 1st, 2023.
June 1st. So before he even reported her missing on the 3rd.
Correct. And then, the documents suggest, the very next day, June 2nd, he drove her body to a wooded area in Thomas County, Georgia, and disposed of it there.
So quick. The alleged act and then the disposal.
And this case really highlights something important in law. It's about circumstantial evidence.
Right. Not necessarily a smoking gun confession.
Exactly. It's the relentless buildup of all these seemingly separate pieces. A flight ticket, a cleaning spray. When you put them all together meticulously, it can become incredibly compelling, sometimes more so than one direct piece of evidence.
So what other pieces were there besides the phone searches?
Well, there was the fact that Wiley reportedly bought a one-way ticket to Puerto Rico. Now, he never actually got on the plane.
But buying a one-way ticket out, that looks like flight.
It certainly suggests that. Plus, evidence that he destroyed electronic devices. And then a really significant find.
Yes.
A cleaning spray found in his car. And the label specifically said it was for removing blood.
Oh, wow. That's
Okay.
damn.
And it gets worse. Lab tests later confirmed it. Lori's blood was present in the carpet of that car.
So the phone searches, the timeline, the ticket, destroying devices, the spray, the blood in the car.
You see, it just keeps building piece by piece. The weight of it becomes overwhelming.
It really does. It's just incredible how those individual details started to lock together, painting this awful picture. And then finally, almost 2 years after she first vanished, they found her.
Yeah, April 5th, 2025. It was during a prescribed burn. You know, when they clear out thick underbrush?
Right.
It happened at a place called Merrily Plantation in Thomas County, Georgia. The fire cleared the brush, and her remains were discovered.
And the grim irony you mentioned, they'd searched that area before.
They had extensive searches, apparently, but the brush was just too thick. Nothing was found until the burn cleared it away.
Just tragic.
Her identity was confirmed pretty quickly by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and right after that discovery, Andrew Wiley, who was 36 by then, was arrested.
Charged with
Second-degree murder. The court moved fast. A judge denied him bond straight away, ordered no contact with any of Lori's family.
understandable.
And the Tallahassee police chief, Lawrence Ravel, he said something powerful at the press conference, reflected that long pursuit. He said, I told you 2 years ago we would never give up. We have done just that.
Wow. Shows the dedication, despite how long it took.
Absolutely. Highlights the tenacity.
So after nearly 2 years, they had the who. The investigation pointed squarely at him. The evidence mounted. He's arrested.
Yeah.
But the why? That's the lingering question. What could possibly motivate this?
Yeah.
And the answer, when it came out in June 2025, it was just profoundly disturbing.
It was. State Attorney Jack Campbell, he publicly revealed the motive, and it was sexual assault.
Oh, no.
The evidence, according to the state attorney, indicated Wiley hadn't just assaulted Lori, but might have actually impregnated her.
It's horrifying.
And there's more. Sources indicate Wiley was getting treatment for an STD around the time Lori disappeared, and that he'd bought Plan B just days before she went missing.
Plan B, the emergency contraceptive?
Yes. Campbell stated the evidence suggested Wiley acted alone, and that the murder was likely committed out of, well, fear. Fear of being exposed for the abuse.
So trying to cover up the first horrific crime with another.
That's what the state attorney described. He called it, and this is a direct quote, a horrific sex crime and a resulting murder that was necessitated by that sexual abuse.
It's important, like you said, to be clear here, we're relaying what the state attorney presented based on the investigation.
Exactly. We're presenting the information from the official sources. It's not about judgment. It's about understanding the findings. But it really raises this awful question about the just desperate and terrible lengths someone might go to hide their actions.
Desperate is an understatement. Such a disturbing motive. And the legal process. Did it ever get to trial?
No, it didn't. There was another unexpected and tragic end to that part of the story.
What happened?
Before he could face trial, Andrew Wiley died. It was June 2025. He died while he was in custody at the Leon County Jail.
He died in jail. How?
The official information from the preliminary medical examiner's report points to a pulmonary embolism, a blood clot in the lungs.
Okay.
And authorities have stated, for the record, that they currently have no reason to suspect any kind of foul play in his death.
So the full story of Lori Paige. It starts with this baffling disappearance, leads through years of painstaking police work, forensic breakthroughs, and ends with uncovering these deeply, profoundly disturbing truths. Yeah, it's a heavy story to take in. Really shows the weight of this kind of knowledge.
It really does. And what's truly, maybe illuminating isn't the right word, but striking here, is how tiny details can become crucial.
Right. Like you said, the breadcrumbs.
Exactly. A phone search history, a specific brand of cleaning spray, even something seemingly unrelated, like a prescribed forest burn. These become the threads that investigators weave together.
To reveal the whole tragic picture.
Yeah. They bring closure, a form of justice, even if it's a painful one. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other crucial clues, what other vital pieces of information might be hiding right there in plain sight in other cases?
Just waiting.
Just waiting for the right moment, maybe the right circumstance, or perhaps the right forensic tool to finally bring them and the truth into the light.